Here we are back at the DreamHack Masters Malmö 2019, and they had me out like a light, sort of like G2 found themselves in that last map, but that's fine, because Astralis showed up to play in a big way, and now we're going to move on to ENCE versus Vitality, and we're going to see some real sickos in the server right about now. I think it's about the time where I tell you that this is the Group A upper bracket best of 3 semi-final. Welcome back, everybody, to the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters. We see the players getting set up. And thank you for watching my rendition of Sicko Mode by Travis Scott X Drake.
I thought it was getting jiggy with it with Will Smith.
There was also some guesses that it was MIA Paper Planes, which was kind of funny.
I thought it was Baby Shark.
Baby Shark?
No.
Okay, no, none of that. We're not doing any of that. What we are going to talk about, though, is this group. Because this tournament is starting to turn out in a weird sort of way. We didn't expect that from G2. We didn't even expect those answers from G2.
That was great from Nexa.
That was amazing. That was incredible. I truly wish more players would have that sort of transparency. But now we need to move on to what is ENCE versus Vitality, which surely we can have some of the same sort of questions about.
It was a pretty good matchup earlier in the year, right, Jacob? When we saw these two teams go together before they've had their roster changes, obviously, for those of you who missed it, Shox has come in replacing MBK. Poor bloody MBK. How many times is he going to get kicked out by this guy? And, of course, we know that Sunny's come in replacing Alexi over there in ENCE. So those are the two biggest differences since their matches earlier in the year.
It's kind of fun, to see the trajectory of both teams. No, I find it fun, though, right? Because both of them were they were trending upwards. They were doing good results, right? ENCE were potentially the second best team in the world for a period, and so was Vitality. So it's fun to see the two teams who have had so much success ending up making such, impactful roster changes. I didn't really see that coming.
Well, let's update this bracket just a little bit for all of your eyeballs at home. Astralis, having just 2-0 G2, will put them forward one more slot in that bracket, which brings us to the ENCE Vitality. Because Astralis needs someone to play.
Yeah, and well, Astralis, as you can see that on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, where it says that winner qualifies to the semi-final, but they've already made it to the quarterfinal, right? So by beating G2, they're already in the arena. So the Danes, you can come over the bridge. We've opened it up for you. ENCE versus Vitality, they're also going to have a chance to go through. So look, Shox has obviously just joined. This is a relatively recent thing. He could have been practicing with them leading into this because he was benched from G2 for some time. So we know that there is a chance that they could have practiced a little bit more than G2. But still in this one right here, it's curious how the players are going to fit in, because I don't know how Shox, what kind of role he's going to get in the team, because normally he gets all the freedom.
With Shox, Shax, Sharks, all of it. Give me 3 reasons why, Jacob.
I'll give you 3 reasons why I think Vitality personally will have a great tournament. And first and foremost, it is Shox and the honeymoon period coming in, right? We often talk about this, Slurs being one of the ones where you have a honeymoon period and you feel good in the beginning. You feel motivated, and Shox is one of those guys that has done that before. For whatever reason, it seems to me that he often gets some motivational issues down the line. But now that this is a fresh lineup that he's in, to prove himself, to prove that he can still be part of a top team and be part of what potentially should be and is the best French team, then I think this is going to be a great period for them to showcase that they can be one of the best teams and they can go all the way in this tournament if they have a good one. Now, the second reason is that they're coming in relatively fresh. Now, we have talked a lot about, teams coming in from New York. We talked a lot about jet lag. We talked a lot about a lot of roster changes going on. This team have had time, as Chad said, to practice just a little bit at least, and I think that's a big advantage given the fact that there's so many teams at this tournament who have not had time for that. Now, the third reason is that they have the X factor, and they have that ×2 now. We have to talk about Saivu. I think personally that he is one of the best players in the world. Potentially he could end up being the best player of the entire year if he steps it up one more time, but now you had that second string to play off, and that is Shox. If he can find some of that old level, I think that this team will now have 2 X factors, and I think that could be enough in order to beat the teams like Astralis, Na'Vi, and potentially even Liquid or EG if they were to face them.
Yes, and that's 3 reasons why, brought to you by Jacob Pimp Vinegar.
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 Is that right?
Yeah, we just say vinegar like we put on our chips.
I'll say it to you one more time.
Okay.
Vinegar.
Vinegar.
There's 2. He's got too much emphasis on it.
It's really hard. Anyway.
Why don't we just call it like he could be Jacob Wayne?
You know what? We've learned, I think, enough about Jacob for the time being. I think what we do here is take a look at a guy that we've been able to watch through his play in the French scene for years now. And he goes by the name of Apex. We're going to actually get to know him pretty well. Let's see what he's got.
Right now, you can have a push up there inside of it. Apex able to take down 3 there with the Bombs.
It's going to be Apex not wasting any time. Takes the fight. He gets the double kill. Apex.
A fantastic victory for Envious at DreamHack Open. Lose the poker.
Welcome on stage, Team Envious.
G2 are your DreamHack Masters champions. Amazing!
Ladies and gentlemen, your champions in Atlanta, Team Vitality!
To balance my personal life and my professional life is not an easy task, obviously, because you have a lot of people you care outside of CS, but you need to think about CS, obviously. And I think I'm trying my best for that, trying to see my parents, to see my girlfriend as much as I can. And when we have a few days off, I'm trying to put CS on the side and just enjoy my family time. My girlfriend, like, obviously is really important for me because she always supports me and she always behind me in whatever happens. Even if it's not easy for her because obviously our girlfriends don't see her that much as we're traveling a lot, and even if when we're home, we're just playing practice and we're trying to get better and better. But she always supports me. She knows that it's really important for me and she never complains about anything. So, yeah. And the other picture I chose is a picture of my grandmother. She died last year, but she was 87, so she lived a life, actually. To talk about my grandmother, it's not easy for me, because when I think about her, I'm getting really sad. But she was a really important person for me. My grandmother and my mother taught me life. It's them that gave me everything I am now. And that wasn't easy for me to leave her and etc. So she's a really important person in my life. And obviously I will never forget her. Okay, the first thing that sticks in my memory about my career is, I would say it's the beginning of Vitality. I will explain why, because we had to start from the bottom. And that's not something I did. I was always at the top, in top 10 teams, in top 10 everything. To be honest, I wasn't ready for all that things. I didn't think it would be that hard to go back to the top. The thing I would love to have is a core of players that I will trust and that could trust me as well. Like when you think about Device, Dupree and Zipnix, they're together for 5 years, 6 years. And that's something I would really love to have. And that's maybe now that I found like the players I want to play for forever and want to stick until I retire. And I'm going to give everything I can for that.
Yes, Apex, a man that's been able to really do some work over there in the French scene, but obviously this is a tumultuous time within the French scene itself. As we take a look forward into the map vetoes, we do know that the matchup is ENCE versus Vitality in a best-of-3. So, knowing that, what other news should we know about Vitality?
That we know Vertigo, but that's probably not from Vitality's side. That would be from ENCE's side.
That'd be for both, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And I think also what we probably could, well, the maps we've seen from these teams today in the best of ones was Mirage for the guys of ENCE. They played a Fnatic, and Inferno was played on the side of Vitality against Hailu. And they were both relatively convincing 16-7 victories there. Oh, there we go. So Vertigo's gone and Train's gone out as well. So these picks here, they share quite a similar map pool. That's what's curious between these teams and the matchups that they've had with each other. If you're Vitality, you're probably not leaning into something heavy like a nuke just yet, even though Shox has just joined. It's not a map that is super easy to get going quickly. What are you thinking, Jacob?
I'm a little bit surprised they removed Train. I mean, they have a 100% win rate on the map the past 3 months. They've beaten teams like E United, Navi, and MIBR, you know, not bad in that sense. So Train going out the window, I'm surprised. You know, they pick Inferno, Vitality picking Nuke. I think they're picking into Joe's map pool, basically, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see Vitality go with Nuke, so maybe it's something that they've been prioritizing in the practice that we couldn't know anything about. Obviously, it was a map that these two teams were happy to play against each other, and if you look at the records, But with that in mind, it's just like the limited amount of time here. Once again, if you are ENCE, you don't know exactly what's been changed from the Vitality camp as well, and you haven't had you haven't seen enough maps right now to really be able to scale. We heard from Dupree before, you know, you can talk about what they used to do, you can talk about the maps they used to like, but you never know what could potentially be changed. We're going to Dust 2 as a third. That could be a very spicy map if we go that far.
Inferno starting off. Usually that's the one we look towards the end of the series to have, but here we're going to be treated with it right in the beginning as we start to talk about ENCE Esports, the Finnish esports organization from Finland.
They weren't great on this map with Alexi B. It wasn't a map for me that I thought that they were necessarily fantastic on by any means. So I'm curious to see them picking into Inferno right now. But as you can see here, Sunny is in terms of an individual, an upgrade in terms of the fragging department. But in-game leading, that's where they're lacking. Alu's kind of taken over the reins here. Once again, I'll reiterate this point if you've just joined us on the broadcast. at the DreamHack Master events, the coach can speak in the free time of every single round, right? So he can chip in. Twister will be able to help them and make calls. So that could be something to help them out a lot, especially with the T-sides of a map like Inferno and
I think that's a very valid point, because Alu actually being the in-game leader of this lineup has been the best performing player by quite a margin. He's been playing better than he were before LXB was on the lineup, so that's surprising to me that he's still able to put out that personal performance there, say it. Whereas I think you're right when you say they lack a little bit of individual, understanding of how to approach the games in the middle of the rounds, the mid-round calls, and basically what makes a great in-game leader. But I think it's a very valid point as well that you bring up, the fact that the coach now can take some of that responsibility off the hands of Alu and potentially free him up to play even better, but also help out the rest of the team. And we have seen ENCE, they started out strong today. They have started to look better and better, there, I say it, from tournament to tournament. So maybe it's just a case where we need to give them time.
Time. Well, here's the one thing that we did have earlier was some time with Fnatic. We had some time with Roland. He told us, that they were hitting us when we didn't expect it, so to say. We expected a little bit faster play. Okay. They started to come out a little bit later than expected with a little bit of a defaulty style play. And can we attribute that to Alu? Can we expect that to carry over into what matchup we have on our hands now?
No, because when you look at this roster, I was surprised that he was surprised by that, because this team is one that we talked about who built their base and their career on being a fundamentally sound squad, and that means you have to be able to default well. We have this man, Alu, on the screen, but he's a man who used to play default style with NIP back in the day. He knows it well.
Once upon a time. Those were much different times, but now we're going to take a look at the other side, the French side. Vitality, that's hot to trot. Apex, Shox, RPK, Alex, and ZywOo. ZywOo, doesn't really matter what you call him, the man shows up when he needs to show up.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like this lineup, better on paper than I like it in reality. And when you look at the names, right, it seems to be good. I did say I think they're going to have a great tournament, and I do think that's going to be the case, simply because, to me, it feels like Shox is always performing well in the beginning.
Excuse me, teacher, sir, can I ask a question?
Raise your hand.
Yes. Jacob, the first 3 names on that list, do they hit you because of nostalgia from when you used to play them back in the Source days, as opposed to what they've achieved recently in CSGO?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but still, I think they've performed to a relatively high level. I mean, Shox is not a bad player. Apex has done well with Vitality, and in general, this lineup has a lot of skill, I feel, and they have the building blocks in order to be a great team. I just think it's more down to the attitude, it's more down to, can you personally get along? Can Alex get control over Shox? Will Shox allow Alex to control the team, basically? We do know that Shox have had problems in the past, where he wanted to be the in-game leader. He wanted to control it all. But in this team, I think he's going to be more of a, he's going to be part of it instead of the guy controlling it. And if he can align himself with that and find some of that old flair that he had, I think Vitality, with the fact that you have ZywOo, who potentially could be the best player in the world on the lineup, a very scary prospect, sorry.
I'm going to do this right away because it is getting to be the witching hour here in Sweden. So, Jacob, who do you have taking this one? I think this one's going to be a much closer bout.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close one, but I will say Vitality is going to probably win it 2-0 or 2-1.
Okay.
Next, come on down.
Look, I think that there are too many members in this Vitality roster that can be in flux, right? Like Apex can be really good, but he can also be, quite average. Same with Shox, he can have really high highs, but he can also be just middle of the pack. You can't just have ZywOo. It was even the same with MBK. You just can't have, it can't be one man. Right. However, I think that the factor that we're dealing with here for ENCE that we've spoken about several times today of just coming from New York is going to play into this one. And I think that if Vitality come in here with a bit more pace and they do things that are going to frustrate and annoy this ENCE roster, then Vitality should be taking this series.
Okay, so we got 2 for Vitality. Nobody believing in the ENCE project.
It's not I'm not believing, it's under these current conditions. Sure. If it was tomorrow, I would pick ENCE.
Oh, you would?
Yep.
Okay.
I think ENCE is the better team, just not today.
Okay.
Huh. Well, how about that? I'm going to go ahead and side with ENCE just to kind of spite you guys, but also go off of what we've seen earlier. We know that they can pack a punch. Can they pack it now against the French side is what I guess the biggest question is going to be of them all.
I kind of actually just want ENCE to win.
Just to spite yourself?
No, like the same way that I wanted Astralis to win in the sense of like in my mind, they were the better team. I did predict Vitality because I think they will win this situation. Yeah, I just want to make that clear for everybody.
I would like the better team to win, but so many times have we been saying on this test that you can't win by just having ZywOo on the lineup, yet Vitality have done it over and over again. If this guy's having a great game, they're going to win.
Yeah, he's going to have to step up in a big way, but it is time for us to get this game underway. In fact, we're going to do that just about now with Anders and Moses, who are sitting idly by, ready to go. What's got you so happy, Anders?
I'm just excited with this game. I mean, I get to see ZywOo play the game. That in itself, I think, is reason enough. Don't really need anything else. And I am kind of on the nostalgia train as well with RPK and Shox. I'm excited.
You look pretty good for an ice cream sandwich.
I know, right? That's the look that I was going for. I went to the store and said, "You got anything that'll make me look delicious?"
I'm really trying to look like an ice cream sandwich.
You know what, sir? We've got just.
Do you have any like dessert designed clothing? Where's the food-based apparel?
They should get more of that out there. I don't know if I'd be going for ice cream. Maybe if they had kebab, like a kebab look, that'd be great.
You want to look like a kebab?
No, I'm just saying that, you know, if we're in that area anyway.
Listen, back to the game. Now
Okay.
we can get the desserts. Yeah, I would like to move along. I did that for Launders. I hope he appreciated it. I'm with Chad on this one. I actually think ENCE is the better team. I think part of the reason why where there's a general feeling that they're going to be like in this downturn, a little bit of a struggle, is because on paper that move of Alexi B off the roster is just so head scratching for an in-game leader that was like touted to be a reason why they did so good earlier this year. I think people are thinking I think there's a feeling that is going to have more of an impact. That's going to like toss them down the rankings just a little bit more than I think it will.
Yeah, I'm not sure if people have sort of read too much into that as well. I sort of suspect something similar. Shox and Saiwu right outside of the A apartments. Of course, Vitality playing on the T side. And right on the other side of ENCE with Ariel and Alu set up here, close range with the C-set 75. And it's meant to do that, just chewing him up immediately. That's so quick and no chance for a reply. And now they're sort of setting up in the middle, but Alu's already listening. He's already spotting it out. They're going to be back around the corner. And Vitality, I couldn't understand why they didn't even run that down. They feel like they've been read already.
Listen, it's a really good thing that Alu just peeked down mid because Ariel was waiting on his call to fall back, and if they had gotten much closer, that could have been so deadly for Ariel. If they had turned that corner a little bit earlier, both Ariel and Alu would have been stuck fighting separate battles. Now they can double up in pit. Now they've called Sergey over to library as well. Alex and Apex just dropping down mid just to clear out Banana, and they're going to come right back. This is going to be an A-hit all the way. Apex with the one smoke and the flashbang.
That has better be a really good flashbang towards pit. There it is. Actually works out really well, but Ariel's still there. That's CC doing all of the work. And Alu unflashed will get a kill. Still alive in the pit and waiting, 1 health left. But time is running out here. 25 seconds. X7 and Sunny now running up close to the bomb side, and they're going to be retaking from either side, but a very real chance here for Vitality to win it in spite of the early troubles. They fought their way into a 2-on-2, and X7 looking for a target and not getting one, firing the gun, and now he knows that actually fading back around the corner. An outrageous headshot taking down Apex, and that leaves Alex almost unwinnable here. X7 will execute him on the bomb site. And that will be ENCE to pick up the pistol round.
That's a really cool defense from them as well. Aggressive at the start, falling back and making a new setup inside of the pit, getting the damage done. A good retake in the 2-on-2. Obviously, that shot on Apex helps in a big, big way.
You know, I just want to follow up on the whole Alexi B and in-game leading, conversation. I've noticed this in the past, and I think it especially happens when we as commentators or just the community at large makes a lot of noise about somebody being a really great in-game leader or doing a lot of work. Often I've noticed, like, a couple of months later, someone from the team will tell me, you know what, actually, like, a lot of those decisions weren't just on him and, like, we were a team making them. It's very hard to know from the outside, so I feel like it definitely can happen that you sort of put too much weight on one person in that sense.
Well, I mean, there's another side of that coin as well, where we do kind of hear that from players, but, like, it doesn't work out, right? Like, it's one thing to be someone who adds in an opinion in a specific situation. Actually, hold the thought, because there's some aggression here. X7 is going to hold on to it. That's a good recovery. That was a dangerous position to be in. Just Alex remaining. He's going to win that as well. 5 kills for X7 so far, and Shox has found Ariel sneaking by him without clearing his left. So Shox might have at least 1 kill in this round.
Yeah, looking good on that one. Technical timeout, I believe, being called, so...
The other side of that coin, just to finish that thought, is the amount of times we hear that it's one thing to be able to chime in at like a specific moment in the game versus being the guy who has the responsibility of making the call every single round, right?
Oh, definitely.
Like, it changes. So we've heard that plenty of times from teams as well, where, like, obviously, you know, this guy didn't do as much work as maybe you guys are saying, but then when he's gone, you still see some of the struggles come out because it's not that in-game leader. It's someone who thinks he can do it because he's able to contribute in specific moments.
Yeah, and then even on top of that, right? If you add something like leadership as a skill on top of just making calls, so that's a completely different area.
Yeah,
of
you can't even
expertise.
quantify that one, can you?
No, it's very hard to do that. So yeah, I mean, I guess the point then is that actually it can tilt a number of different ways from what it looks like from the outside. It might not always be clear exactly what's happening inside of a team. So
very clear what's happening here. They stack down mid and they're just going to rush it. That is huge. And X7 and Ariel, they're going to turn the corner. Good double kill from Alex. That's massive at X7. He's going to be caught all alone. He needs to handle Zaiwu coming from the underpass. He's aware of the possibility. The Molotov is there. Zaiwu's burning, but he's going to escape.
That is a great way to hold that mid push. So aggressive. Sunny now waiting on the other side of the wall. Shox is already clearing past him. He's got an MP9. Yeah, and they're sort of, Alu's weighing his way over here as well. They might as well, I guess, try and gamble to try and see if they can hold a bomb site together. And right now, Vitality is saying, we've got way over a minute left, and we're going to let Shox take this whole path. Actually, ooh.
The fact that he never saw Sunny,
yeah.
He's calling his whole team over to the A bomb site. He says, I'm in pit. I see absolutely no one. Just come back. Maybe they're stacking. Alu is in such a perfect position, and that'll give the information to Sunny as well.
Oh, it could get really wild. I mean, this isn't even Shox's fault, but right now, yeah, they could be inadvertently signaling the wrong information for the rest of the Vitality team. Let's see how many people make it past Sunny. He's waiting patiently up there all day.
I think they all will. I don't think ENCE is expecting these last two players, Alu and Sunny. They're not expecting for them to go the long way and all take the same exact route as Shox, but a very smart route to walk for Vitality to get into this site. Flashbangs are out. That should give up the game, and Sunny's now going to try and flank.
Alu clearing in middle, but not finding anybody. I can't believe that the entire Vitality team made their way through that late and not even running into anybody. Alex holding the angle. They know that retake is coming from. Sunny actually getting a kill. Oh, this would be devastating if somehow ENCE are able to retake it. Alex still lurking in the back. It's important that he stays alive just to cause a distraction, and he will come in with the kill at the end. A triple for Alex. And a good round out of Vitality.
Yeah, Alex was the champion in that round. The 2 kills at the start to neutralize that mid push. That was very, very aggressive, very early on in this half for ENCE. It's taken a lot of the money away from them. That's even through the smoke, through fading grenades and everything. So good triple kill. Very interesting the way that round played out, but there's going to be investment from ENCE. They're all bought up. Alu has the AWP.
And AWP, and they don't really have that much else. Alu does love these aggressive fights on Inferno, and he is so good at them that, you know, normally I would caution heavily against people doing this on the CT side. I'd say it's probably not worth it, and especially if you run into an AWP on the T side, they probably have the advantage. But with Alu, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, he seems to understand the timings just so very well to do these kinds of peeks, especially when he goes down and taking a peek in towards alt mid. It can be such a nuisance to deal with. 3 players for ENCE stacking at this B bomb site. A lot of faith in Alu's AWP. Aerial as well on the balcony. Apex trying to find some information into the B bomb site.
Probably growing suspicious that he hasn't seen anyone yet. UMP does a lot, and he survives on 2 health.
I have no idea how he got away from that. Now I think ENCE, they have to start rotating someone back. But this is funneling Vitality right towards Alu. Wrap side with the AWP. The one weak point in this defense is the fact that Aerial's all alone in pit. That's why Alu's rotating around. They need to help him out in lane.
Yeah, they want to make sure that he doesn't just get completely flashed and run down. And now they've got Sunny there as well behind. 35 seconds on the clock, and well, they're over at Arch here, waiting for the smoke to fade, and Vitality have left themselves very little time. This has to be an almost flawless execute into the site. Once it goes, the flashbang is in, and that flashbang does everything they wanted. But Alu, they took a little while, and he's going to pick up a kill, flanking into it. It is not enough. The UMPs couldn't do it, and the flashbang, I think it was even when they were slow, it was still good.
And I don't think ENCE expected that many people coming on Wrap side. You certainly hear the flashbangs, you certainly hear the footsteps, but 4 players coming in that direction, they weren't prepared for it at all. Alu got caught. Actually, with that kind of a defense inside the bomb site, I think the only winning recipe is for Aerial, once he sees that flashbang coming out of halls, is to just push that. We see that frequently when the utilities use out of those halls. I think that might have been the one thing that could have gotten him out of it. Either way, Vitality tie things up.
It's also one of those rounds where, because they had 2 on site and then they had Aerial up on the balcony. Now, if they'd had an M4 or something in the pit, then that wraparound from Arch is way more difficult. But I don't know. They had a good chance of making it through there. I think there's a lot of pressure on that side.
Well, it was interesting. Like it seemed like Alu and Sunny even caught off guard by how fast Vitality was turning that corner, right? Like that peak from Sunny, it's like he didn't even seem like he expected. They did get a little too close together, clumped together inside of the bomb site. Regardless, good return from Vitality. 2-2, winning the last 2 rounds. Taking all the money away from ENCE.
The 5th round here, Ooh, actually, setting up for it. We're ready in case there was something happening. They don't have a flashbang here on the CT side to set up for that little stack. Otherwise, that would have been even better. RPK with a double return. And he's just holding his own right now. And I think that was the main threat, wasn't it? It's an interesting boost going on here, though. You have to appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd appreciate it more if we got to see it, you know?
Yeah. Get the camera rolling.
No, not that. I would like to see someone go attack that part of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
That's fair enough. You want more than just the theory of it.
Right.
Stacked on top of the pallets. This seems like something you'd see on YouTube fails or something,
Okay. Yeah, like just like actual human beings doing it?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And then the pallet just falling over and everyone getting hurt?
We've all seen that. It's a huge part of the internet's all about that stuff.
It's all about watching bad things happen to other people.
Yeah. It's powerful technology, and we're using it seemingly for not really a lot.
Cats and Schadenfreude.
That's.
I don't think I'm saying. I think I'm butchering that.
It's okay.
I'm giving it a good-hearted try, though.
Yeah. We'll teach you one day. We'll have you brush up on the German. Teach you, I don't know, some good phrases, good basic phrases, making your way around. Shocks. Some wild spam coming through. Sunny somehow picking up Staibu. I'm not even sure how. But still, they should be able to defend this bomb side without really much of an issue. And indeed, they will be. RPK with a triple at the end of the round, and Vitality now in the lead 3-2 as we go into round number 6.
We touched on the ENCE changes a little bit. How do you feel about Shocks on Vitality?
The thing is, Shocks is one of those people for me that fall into that category that I just can't find it in myself to criticize them.
Okay.
Like, I think at one point Shocks was the best player in the world at Global Offensive.
Right.
I think there was like a stretch where he was, I mean, I've seen Shocks do outrageous things.
I have as well.
So, I can't really get over that. I am having a hard time justifying it, in the immediate, current, present moment, but, yeah. And I think there is some truth even to the part where it's like a battle between him and himself. Like, does he want to be the superstar player or the guy who also has a lot of input, And I want to say, let Alex do all of that. He's proven himself to be good at it.
Just focus on your own game.
Yes, that's what I'm wishing for. RBK low on health, but he did win the early fight. And now, headed towards this bomb site. Eventually, he's going to catch them, even getting another kill. And that should tip the game a little bit. Vitality, if they were quick about it, they would catch a single person. But they are slowing down a bit.
Yeah, but they have Alex in position. Actually, he's going to push up ramp side. They do need to hurry this. Aerial, any resistance he mounts is huge. Can't get that first kill. He misses the opportunity and too many targets. They're going to go down, but the flank is here. No one's in pit. They have pit wide open until Apex just creeps over. And that's a big kill, and that should solidify things. Sergey's going to come from the halls, and with Apex in that position, I think this is a pretty impossible retake scenario, even if he wins this fight. Now a 1-on-2, into the open he goes, and ZywOo's got him. Double kill for ZywOo, and a 4th round for Vitality.
Definitely a timer on that round where they could have messed it up either by getting flanked, or I guess if they'd taken a slow fight against Aerial up there, that would have been dangerous. But he had so many targets, he had no idea what to do.
Yeah, well, the tough one was Alex even coming around the wrap side. I thought Alex would stick around once RPK called the flank down Banana. I thought he would have stuck top mid and watched for that, but it worked out either way. Back down to the pistols for ENCE. Some light armor and very little utility.
Ooh, Apex. I'm finally realizing that maybe that was an option. Mac-10, pretty much the perfect range for it. And the fact that they have the Mac-10 even on Alex that's a lot of fun when you realize that was a pistol and there was no armor. Suddenly you are thinking, well, I can go and do whatever I want here, and it's risk-free. Shock's just probing on this side too.
Very calm and calculated from Vitality. They had control of top Banana as well, just now giving it up. Gonna head back towards the safe bomb site. I feel like we've seen this play out so many times where Aerial is the sole defender.
Yeah, it doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, and usually he's had a UMP or an M4. Now he's just got a CZ.
Where are you on Shocks as a player?
I mean, unlike you, I have no problem being critical of Shocks. I have been in the past.
Yeah.
I think this is an intriguing move. I think this could work out if depending on how they're going to use him. I know Alex has mentioned that a couple times, or maybe it was the coach who said, there was, he's exactly the kind of player they're looking for. I think this has promise. I think this is the most promising situation I've seen Shocks have in his career for like 2 to 3 years, it feels like.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So if the mentality is with it, oh, actually, that's a fair bit of damage. Long range. They still should not even be close to retaking this, but good shots coming out. Aerial taking down Alex.
It's about to be costly. They have him pinned down, and yeah, you can survive in the pit, but if there's any more damage dealt, that's going to be a problem. Aerial trying to make the run for the weapon, but now ZywOo and RPK both have to evacuate.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe not. That bomb is behind the box in the corner. It might not actually reach too far, but they are going to evacuate.
Yeah, they're going to try and run it the other way.
And they're going away from Alu.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. He's obviously wishing for something else. Realizing by now, we're going to make the run for it, and he'll go down with the bomb instead. So, 5-2. Yeah, I really think in some sense that it's up to him from a mental perspective to, you know, to try and sort of find a way to do this. I mean, the style that Shox was playing when he's very good is one of those, again, like really intensive styles where you have to be like at the forefront of your game at all times.
It's not even that. I don't even know if there's very few people who can be a star in the same fashion that he was back in the day, just because of the way the teamwork has evolved. Even like the tier 2 teams are much better at teamwork than like the tier 1 teams were back in Shox's era, right?
Yeah, that's even a good point. It might be hard to compare across time like that. Well, I'm excited to find out anyway. 8 round now and a 5-2 score round lead for Vitality on the T side of Inferno. That is a really good start. And ENCE have been struggling a lot with the economy, and they are in this round too, in spite of the weapons looking good. They're low on grenades and being forced back. Alu nearly goes down, and a nearly good follow-up there. Aerial, he gets a kill, but he also drops, and a grenade not going to do too much to RPK and Sergey. If he dies, then this A-bomb site's probably going to fall pretty quickly.
I don't know if Sergey saw Apex, but I'm pretty sure Apex saw him. Waiting for the return, waiting for the follow-up peek. How does Apex want to play this? He's going to back away as that smoke clears. I don't mind that whatsoever, because it looks like Vitality in general wants to sink back and just take a moment to pause, a moment to breathe. If they want to attack this, it feels like they're going to have to push X7 out of Banana, because he has so much information allowing Alu and Sunny to be here. And Alu got bored. He wanted to find out what's happening on the map. Shox is going to pick him up. Oh, and the follow-up. That's nasty.
That is really good, isn't it? A great headshot. And now Sergey alone down in the pit position. He's got the read, all right, but that won't make a difference when there's 3 more people coming for you. X7 now. Might as well try and save what you can here at the end. That's going to be 6 rounds for the French side.
I don't know if you saw this, but just this for the viewers who might be interested a little bit more as to what Vitality has been going on and what's been going on in their team. Nell, the French journalist,
yes,
translated a really cool, or parts of a really cool podcast with the coach of Vitality. You can go to his Twitter feed and scroll through that. It actually has some really cool information and answers that illuminate some of the situation that's been going on. So definitely check that out. It's really cool stuff.
I haven't seen that yet, but I'll go and find it as well. It's always good to get some insight into what's happening in, you know, like the French Counter-Strike scene, if nothing else, is just always something interesting happening.
From the outside, it just seems so wacky, doesn't it?
Yeah, because in some ways, they've just always had like a lot of talent in that region, but it seems to be, you know, it seems to be all the people that don't want to work together half the time, which is kind of amazing. All on its own. This is a great shot. You have to like this.
Yeah. That is very, very nice from Shox. And just a very nice call from Vitality in general. So much pressure applied to that A-bomb site very early in the round, and then just, you know, waiting. And then just saying, you know what, let's take some of that pressure away and see how ENCE responds. And obviously, they're feeling nervous because they want to know what's happening. They want to know if they're positioned properly. And Shox is able to capitalize on that. Double nade. Gonna do no damage.
Yeah, it looked like Sunny fell back in time, but he was on that corner. That's a nice counter grenade, though. 52 damage. Onto RBK's head.
Well, counter smoke coming out from Sunny to delay things. But I think Vitality will be fine with that. They have forced out a smoke pretty early on. That'll fade just before the 1 minute mark. They're going to leave Apex for information. He can actually peek and take fights when that fades. He can hear any kind of footsteps in CT spawn if they're running along the wall. And the other 4 players, back to the A-bomb site we go.
Hello, and Aerial alone over on this other side. X7 with the M4 on the other side of the map. And he's got a smoke still, so if they decided to go back to B now, Vitality, which they could, and he holds onto that smoke, it could be really fun. And that's where it gets interesting. If they don't, it's hard to see how the pistols actually they are falling back.
Falling right back into it.
He's used the smoke already.
Yeah, too early. didn't he? There's going to be a chance here, and Alex is going to be able to get to CT spawn if he wants to, and that smoke doesn't even cover everything. Apex is going to walk right around it, so not only is the smoke too early, it has a gigantic gap in it.
A premature smoke, never good.
Premature anything, never good.
You don't want any of that, do you? Well, 3 to 4. And I mean, I get they have the armor. Maybe just try and see if you can steal away a gun, but even then, maybe just need this for upgrading in the upcoming round. I feel like right now, ENCE it'd be great if they could have all the Molotovs, all the HE grenades, if they can contest Banana. This has gone badly sideways for the Finns, haven't it?
In a lot of ways. Yeah, this is it's not ideal. They've been caught a couple times. I mean, Vitality strategically outplaying them, it feels like. They've been able to find timings and find hits on the weaker bomb sites a number of times. So 7-2. You have to imagine, well, yeah, it's going to be easy now. Alu has armor that he saved in this round. He's going to get the AWP, and it feels like it's been a while since he's had that weapon. And the ENCE defense is easier to break through when Alu doesn't have that gun, because as we talked about, he is spectacular on this map.
Yeah, he truly is. We've been cheated out of that for a little while now. But
I feel like so rarely do we have like players who are just like exceptionally, their level just rises on specific maps. It feels like Alu is just one of those players who, maybe not in volume of kills, but the impact he can have with the AWP and the variety of peaks he puts in on this map on the CT side is so cool.
Hope we can get treated for a little bit more of it. That's so many grenades being exchanged, and I think a little bit of panic fire coming out from X7, and it's hard for them to even back him up right now. He's going to sneak in and find a kill on Alex. I can't believe that he's still alive, and now Saibu wants to push through a bit of a jump, but Sunny will be there with a revenge, and he needs to stay alive a bit longer. Sergey there as well, and they just absolutely lock down the top of Banana. Shox now in a 1 versus 4, and I don't know, that whole fight was... That was awkward from all sides, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I do appreciate the fact that ENCE was committed to battling for that position. They were really, really into that. They've lost that fight a couple times, and this one just throwing utility and bodies at the problem, and they come out on top. All right, Shox. 2015 Shox wins this. Is 2019 Shox winning this?
I mean, like you said, I think it's a good point. One of the problems is everybody's so good at the game now that winning some of these rounds now, it's very, very tricky. And ends up playing a disciplined game as well. It's one thing if they were hunting for him, if they were sort of making those mistakes, but they are just waiting him out.
And I think the nice thing for ENCE at this point is Shox is not going to use a flashbang for this. In a 1 versus 4, you want the element of surprise. So you're going to turn the corner. No chance anyone's going to be blind. No chance anyone's going to look away.
Yeah, because if they fall back into the B-bomb side and you throw the flashbang, you're just like, oh, I just gave away my position for no effect. So, yeah, that's really rough. Good play, though, on ENCE, and you like the patience at the end. 7-3. And they need to keep this up. Just to win the next 5 rounds here.
Easier said than done. Alu. Not going to go for that peek, but a nice little off angle. Again, some damage dealt to Vitality and Banana. This time, ENCE is not going to battle for that control. Look at the push and window. 2 defenders, Ariel and Sergey. They're going to get a free one. Zaiwu. And look, Shox wants to punish him. He's got the first and not the second. Couldn't land the headshot. Nice response from Sergey. Another advantage found by ENCE. But towards the B bomb site we go. The hit is on very early in the round.
That's a beautiful flashbang to take down. X7 Sunny out in the open as well. And it will be Apex to open it up. Alex was the one who threw the flashbang in the background. And that is, I mean, they had to do that. They lost all map control. Apex, he's got the right idea. And Alu nearly goes down. He's nearly got both those kills. But now instead, Alex, the one to try and see if he could keep it in the round here. And instead, Sergey comes through with a quad kill. And ENCE will be able to retake the bomb site. That is such a close round.
It's very nice, but it's costly. 4 players go down, you have to rebuy a lot. Sergey's going to pass the op over. He can even drop a gun if he wants to. He's got full utility already. But ENCE has a real issue with their money. In Vitality, with the plant, with all the cash they've built up, they've got a few more buys left in them as this bonus builds in their favor. And it's not going to be an easy CT side for ENCE. They have a lot of recovery to do. And it feels like there's just so many more landmines in front of them.
Well, especially with the money that's built up on Vitality, right?
Well, one reset at this point, and Vitality gets to that level of rounds on the T side of Inferno where you're just like, oh god, this is going to be a really difficult thing to match.
That's true. RPK walking into it with a grenade in hand. They definitely weren't ready for that. Leg shot on ZywOo, and Alu making it back into the bomb side. They did not want to chase him. Flashbang set up for that corner. No one's there to peek it. I think, you know, maybe he was a step ahead there. Aerial wanted to flash in his teammate, but regardless, it seems like, I don't know, a little bit of an assumption there on the part of Vitality.
That's an off angle that Alu uses a lot.
Yeah.
It seemed like, who was it? ZywOo wasn't exactly, or who did go down to him?
RPK.
RPK was not exactly prepared for that. 7 behind the smoke, spamming through, reloading a bit early. They're turning the corner. Sunny, he comes on blind. He's got a double kill. ZywOo was already very low from the tag from Alu earlier. And Shox, there's fire all around, but he knows there's no entrance here. Hit a 1 versus 4 the previous time, now 1 versus 5. Think he's got it?
The universe conspiring against him to make it more tricky. You know, I would say just based on how the last 1 versus 4 went, I'm gonna say
Alu's got another off angle as well.
Yeah, just holding that. I don't know how you do this. You know, you have to get the kill on Alu, then run in to get the bomb.
No! I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him.
Yeah, he's
got
a good cover.
He's got a plant as well.
That's something. Now he needs to turn around really quickly. I think he might have realized, definitely knows now. And every second that passes here, the rest of the team just get closer. He runs for the fight and does take down Sergey. But again, you actually need, and I mean, this was even true back in the day, right?
Yeah.
You actually need the other team to make some mistakes. Like, I mean, one of those tries is always going to be impressive, but
like the one that Alu made, right? Like,
yeah,
just little itchy on the trigger finger, sees the barrel, fires off a shot.
But maybe even more than that, right?
I really am just laughing because I've done that myself. It's the worst feeling. You are like, oh no, I'm an idiot.
Why have I done that? 7-5. And slowly making it happen here. Another fight for Bananaris. Vitality do sort of set up for it. The double nade, and actually that does a little bit of damage. It could have been much worse. I think it landed right between X7 and Sunny over there. And they're also giving a bit of damage in return. X7 goes for the peek and actually takes down Alex immediately. Sunny there with the follow-up, and the trades continue as RPK is really quick with that AK-47.
I think Vitality's going to be very happy with how that played out. 2-for-2 trade, and on a map like this where it's so spread out, the defense is going to be hard-pressed to find ways to work together and have information. Alu holding top mid, but as soon as he gives up that angle, Aerial does not have the cover in that direction, so he'll have to move from his position. This is going to take a lot of coordination, and there's plenty of utility for the Vitality side.
The problem with Aerial's, I like the fact that he's using this off angle. The problem is the flashbangs are going to go over his head and still flash him, I'm expecting. So he actually might be in a lot more trouble than he realizes, though. Alu taking a lot of that distraction away, and then Aerial is cleared to take that shot, and that is perfect. Great double kill. I was going to say, because I thought maybe they would throw the flashbang for the apartments player to jump out first, and I actually think Aerial would have been in a lot of trouble then.
No, I think they did, but Shox, instead of jumping to the left, jumped to the right.
Oh, he jumped the other way, yeah, fair enough.
They also didn't smoke off Alu, despite having a smoke.
So some issues there.
It could have been done better.
It could have definitely been done better.
Still, Vitality with 7 rounds to the 6 of ENCE, but it's been 4 in a row for the Finnish defense, and that's a spectacular comeback. We talked, you know, when this began about the economy. There was about 3 different ways in which ENCE could have been broken in terms of their money. Still not great, but it doesn't matter now that they're stringing these rounds together. This is phenomenal for ENCE.
Yeah, it's quite a good comeback. I mean, if nothing else, they've given themselves enough of a buffer that they can go into the second half saying, of course, there's a chance for a comeback here. It can absolutely happen. So, gotta appreciate that. Sergey on 12 kills, X7 on 10. Alu aggressive, making that jump. Good information to find, actually. And they only have pistols mostly on the other team, so you may want to be careful about giving up an early death here. Just don't give them that.
That information Alu got pulled Sergey back immediately. He started rotating right when that jump happened. Aerial sees the smokes, the utility, turned the corner. Oh, he can't land the shot. Not a lot of damage done from either side, but Pit has been lost. Sergey's gonna sink back into the bomb site, but he's still fighting while doing it. He's got a double kill. That is a nice hold, and Alu out in the open. Sergey needs to remain aggressive as well, but ZywOo finds it. And this is so long for Sergey to be here on his own. Somehow Vitality have fought their way into this bomb site. 3 kills on ZywOo.
I'm thinking Alu must have known that there was someone in pit, but he just assumed that they wouldn't be peeking that wide in towards the wall there. And that was a mistake of sorts. ZywOo, you're right, a triple, and now 45 seconds. And ZywOo's just going to stay in pit while Shox is investigating on the rest of the map with the P250. And honestly, this could net them an early kill, right? Because as long as there's no bomb plant, ENCE are going to be wondering, well, we've got maybe one guy locked in pit. Maybe we just wait and see. Shox, oh, timing is not going to be with him, and Sunny instead takes him down. And that puts all of the pressure on ZywOo. And the Des talked about this. Can you base this off of just the brilliance of one player? He's going to be planting the bomb, and they're right on top of him. He can't get out from behind this box, and there's just no way for him to know that. Sunny, very aggressive, and a good double kill on him. We'll get ENCE a 7th round.
Yeah, this has been great. Plenty of time as well for them to find the AWP.
Really a bit of a hunt going on.
Yeah, they had to search for it for a bit. X7 picked it up. Here's the defuse coming in. We're all tied up. That is this is a great turnaround. I'm very impressed by ENCE holding strong in this map.
Yeah, they're making an impressive comeback. It looked like they were going to get swept in the first half completely. And they were struggling with the economy and everything. Now instead, they're all tied up, leading in round number 15. So a very competitive game to begin with here all of a sudden. And it's a best of 3, so I appreciate it. Alu looks like he wanted to maybe do something in middle. Going to throw in a smoke, and does just peek him a little bit. Now it's time to back on out.
It might be a good thing he bailed out. Notice how quickly ZywOo had that angle in alt mid. But now that he's fallen back, Sergey's all alone. That had to be a kill. It's not going to be their Shox with the follow-up, and no one from ENCE can complete these frags. Sunny's finally here with the AK-47. He's got a double kill, and Aerial now holding on. There's a low HP player. That could be a fast double kill, but it's not going to come in just yet.
On the other side, though, Flashbang does nothing. Aerial to pick up the kill. He gets a follow-up dig. So many fights that have been lost for ENCE in this round, just based on, you know, almost no health left there on the Vitality team. And X7, well, he's got something to work with, but Shox has got the AWP and RPK inside of the bomb site. He's in some trouble here, X7. He's going to find the quick early headshot, but now Shox is on the other side. He has a Molotov and a smoke, and so does X7, forcing Shox into the peak, and he gets it and then burns alive. What a way to end the half here. 8-7 in favor of Vitality. That is the kind of action that we're looking for pretty much all of the time. It's wonderful. Frankie, over to you.
What a way indeed. And as ENCE, silent, focused, got their eyes on the prize. They have managed to get that turnaround, sort out their money issues, and now surely that confidence is going to carry through to the second half. Vitality, Remy, the coach, in that timeout, clapping behind his team, trying to get them loud again, trying to get them energized. And now they've got 2 minutes, and you guys at home have got 2 minutes to try and lift your spirits before we head into the other half of Inferno.
And we're back with Vitality in ENCE, second half here on Inferno, and it's CORSAIR DreamHack Masters, of course, best of 3 coming your way. So got a lot of Counter-Strike left still in the day. And now ENCE are going to be playing on the T side, Vitality on the CT side. And let's just see how this plays out. Great comeback for ENCE in spite of all the struggles there in the first half.
Yeah, that was an incredible comeback that they had. They were getting wiped out of this, but a 5-round run in the later stages of the half puts them just 1 round behind, so not nearly as bad as it could have been. ZywOo getting some information down mid, and this is actually probably detrimental to what's coming. There are 4 players, I believe, in those A halls. No, 3. And Vitality has just evacuated that A bomb site. Now, they're going to destroy half of this attack, right? Sergey is going to go down for free as soon as they turn this corner.
This is so, yeah, they're faking the B-bomb side right now, and they're flanking him saying, you know what, we've got this attack, it's great, we've crushed them, and now the bomb's going to go down. What is this circus? X7, every second matters here, staying alive. They're going to be so confused, Vitality. They're going to say, hold up.
This plant spot is actually sick. They could do so well here. Oh, Apex just missed the timing of Aerial getting across to the left. This could be a disaster for Vitality. Still going to be a very tough situation, but interesting positions for the post plant from ENCE.
What a strange round. Vitality trying to play Counter-Strike and ENCE trying to play hide and seek in the first round, and somehow that's actually worked out brilliantly for them. Sunny, a couple of more bullets will do it. He's going to get a headshot, not even reloading there, taking down Apex, and now Saiwu going to go and look for him. The jump won't save him, but that bomb plant, you're right, it's out in the open, and I think they've almost run out of time here. The defuse kit is on it. He gets a 1 kill, but it's still happening, and Saiwu able to defuse the bomb barely in time, in spite of everything that ENCE brought in that round. That's a rare round, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it really is. And I love how that played out, because what an interesting situation. I thought ENCE got into very, very cool spots for the post plant. If Alu has like a P250 or a USP here, if he's able to like pick one up, I think he just tries to go for that diffuser. Really unfortunate, not confident in the Glock, and he still drills the headshot anyway.
Well, we ended the first half in spectacular fashion with Shock standing inside of a Molotov to get the kill on the last player. That was otherwise going to be defusing, and we start out with this kind of madness, so I feel like we're headed to a good place.
Oh, that nade does so much damage, and look at the SMGs through the smoke. Apex loves these plays. We'll see them frequently throughout the half from his part. Man advantage, and utility is not friendly for ENCE. They're running out of it. They do not have a whole lot of options, but same with Vitality. They just have the, 3 smokes and 2 flashbangs to use. It's going to be a lot of time for the AK-47s in this Krieg to get some work done.
Was Apex looking for more grenades on the ground there? It looked like he was investigating. Anyway, they're leaving Shocks alone on this side with a smoke and a flashbang and an MP9. It's maybe a little bit risky, but if he can get the smoke timing right, then it should be all right. Maybe.
Saiwu can get there pretty quick as well. He's playing in the CT spawn arches.
He's got no grenades to help out with, though, so it's kind of risky.
Yeah, but Shocks just saw the boost, so this is nice. This will call him back, and ENCE was nowhere near. They were spotted way before they were ready to actually attack the bomb site. So it pans out, it works in the favor of Vitality, and we'll see if ENCE, when they decide to go for this hit, they have the 1 smoke for CT spawn. This is going to be tough.
It will be, especially if they can't immediately take out Saiwu, because then they're going to be dealing with that MP9 close range, and Saiwu's just going to be there intermittently to sort of interrupt the attack. He did a little bit of damage, but again, 10 seconds here on the clock, and yeah, that MP9 shutting it down. Good defense, good little dynamic there between Saiwu and Shocks, and X7 going to be just waiting out the round. They're all around him, and that is not good news at all.
He's got $0. Not even sure what the plan was for him saving that anyways, because yeah, I mean, even if he brings it into the next round, he has to drop it over to someone else to buy armor, so he's still reinvesting. Either way, that's about the worst case scenario that could have happened.
It can only go up from here for him, I guess.
For
that's the good
X7?
news. Yeah, he's found.
Yeah, but even that, it's like barely up, right? Because he's not even going to have enough money to get a rifle in the next round.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
No.
You need to be careful with those finances.
Ooh, I think, did Alex spot that? Oh yeah, he's going to hard clear it. Pre-fire onto Alu. Well done. So it's going to be more than likely 11-7, unless Sergey does some fine deagle work. Nope.
Not even a chance. Alex being super proactive with this UMP and looking for early fights. Yeah, I mean, 11-7, but as you said, like there's that economic issue on the ENCE side once again, which they've been facing a lot in this map.
They have been. It took them a long time on their CT side to solve that problem. Alex is having a field day, just finding unarmored players looking the other direction the whole time.
Those are the best, aren't they?
Those are amazing situations to find yourself in.
2-4. And, I mean, maybe now they don't even really need to go aggressive. That UMP already got the bonus. A little bit there from Shocks. It looks like he's getting caught at the corner. Still going to win the fight. And X7 been spotted, so Shocks will make it out alive. Close, but not quite close enough here. 11-7 now, the scoreline. I'm moving into round number 19. They're going to be buying on the ENCE side, and that makes sense. But X7, as we mentioned earlier, still going to be on a deagle here and some grenades. It's not so bad, but still, it's a recurring issue for ENCE here in the first map.
Yeah, well, they have plenty of rifles to at least cover up his deficiency. 3 players towards Banana for the attack, going to establish control, and they're going to get it for free. Apex and Shocks playing deep into that B bomb site, not even really using a whole lot of their utility. Maybe a late take of top banana. They're hoping they would catch someone up at the car, but no one from ENCE is going to be there. It's going to be a boost over. This is actually a little dangerous for the Vitality guys, but they're going to give up that stack. And that is you don't get much more perfect than that on a grenade.
It landed right on him, didn't it? Down to 50 health on Sunny. Not the flashbang they were looking for either, I think. Some confusion creeping into that top banana push. I like the fact that they're using X7 just clear middle here with the deagle anyway. And they still have 55 seconds, and now they're getting very close to the B-bomb side. This could actually be quite dangerous.
Well, Ariel has the bomb, and that's over in alt mid, so I'm a little bit confused about this B hit. It feels like it's going to be a fake, and it doesn't look like it's going to fake a whole lot. Apex does go down, Shox to recover. It's pulling people over, but the bomb's coming back as well, so Shox had a real chance there. But Alex has arrived. He hears the footsteps. He's going to hear the follow-up footsteps as well.
Well, absolutely. Sunny goes down and trying to plant the bomb. The timing is so good for Alex. And it's a 1 versus 3 that X7 can pretty much never win. As much as you hate to say it, Alex is already there covering the bomb. X7 running in with his back turned, and Alex will find a 3rd kill. Brilliant stuff coming out here with the British player. Up to 14 kills.
I'm wondering if maybe that's a miscommunication or just didn't realize he had the bomb in alt mid. Because if he had the bomb at B while that hit's going on, if they can actually get in and get that plant before, before this position from Alex is taken, there might have been a real opportunity there. Especially that lurk from X7 would have been much more powerful.
Yeah, it's not clear to me either. I think maybe they were just so confused that they could even get that far into B before running into anyone. They're like, why are we not facing somebody? But yeah, at some point they needed a follow-up to that. If it was, even more successful. 12-7 now. Really, really working on this lead now, Vitality. And again, also on the economic front, they're doing so well.
Top mid taken, some nade damage coming out as well. RPK going to be forced off, but they're okay for the moment. Actually, with all this flashbang, with all this utility usage from ENCE, not actually really pressuring the bomb site just yet. And on Rap side, a big trade.
They need that. This would be a huge round to be winning right now for the Finns. Ooh, they're chasing back shots. He's going to drop a smoke, and then he's hiding in the corner. I'm wondering if they were going to try and rush through. X7 taking down Alex, who again was feeling a little bit adventurous. RPK, that's a good lineup, and that should have been a double kill, but it isn't. And suddenly, they're in a 1 versus 3. And I think just maybe a little bit too much aggression coming out there on the Vitality side. Now, Saibu finds a kill, making it a 1-on-2, and backing up. If he makes any noise now, he's in trouble. He may be anyway. X7 is right at the off angle, and he's going to find a 3rd kill himself. Good round out of ENCE. I think slightly assisted by a little bit too much confidence maybe on the Vitality side there.
Yeah, perhaps. I'm not even sure it was confidence. I think Vitality just had no idea what was going on. I think they were so confused by what ENCE was running. They just didn't, obviously Shox is flanking B, and he sees them all turn around and go back. And I think Alex is just like, all right, I'll get a quick read on the flank. He gets picked off, and I think they were just never really sure what the end game of ENCE was. And you can understand why, right? ENCE changed their point of attack like 2 to 3 different times in that mid-round.
Yeah, there was, but even then they had the better weapons, right? So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to blame Alex because actually his aggression has been super successful in the past, but this was one of those times where, retrospectively you think, well, this time you kind of gave them a bit of a chance. Now the double op is in play on the CT side, which it could be great, or it could also be dangerous. Retaking on Inferno with ult is kind of difficult to do.
X7 throwing the smallest of fakes, not even showing presence, just standard utility to take top mid, and here we go. It looks like a contact play towards the B bomb site. Shox misses with the AWP. He'll get a second chance, misses that timing as well, but now they're fighting in the flames, and Apex will take that all day long.
Well, it's all going to make it hard. Otherwise, Shox, I think, would have probably gone for the... waited for the sound of the bomb plant and then try to shoot right through, but he's been pushed off the corner, and it's a 4-on-3 retake, and at that point, it's probably better for him to wait and go for the full actual retake. X7, that's a great headshot, and he almost took down Saibu as well. They might be able to do this, and they're right back in the game if they can win this round. Vitality are low on funds as well. X7 sneaking closer, but Shox patiently waiting, and RPK is going to be there as well. It's all on Alu, and he can't do it. The Orcs do manage the retake in the end, and it's going to be 13 rounds for Vitality.
A retake with a double op and a 3 versus 3. That's well done. Shox just being patient. He gets someone to walk into his crosshair. That's a bit of a freebie. 13-8. ENCE has the money with that plant, with some of the cash that they built up. They're going to be fine with their buy. This is a huge round, though. This determines if ENCE is going to have a chance to get back into it. Alex, with his buy of the UMP and utility, is down to 50. Money's not great for the Vitality side, but they do have one more buy outside of this if they were to lose it.
Well, now they know there's a double open play as well on the ENCE side, which they didn't before. Shox walks right into it, and Alu so ready.
Might have been a misread of the economy, but yeah, Alu is going to love that. Apex, he's got to be careful. If he got caught reloading, you better believe Sergey was going to come through that smoke. And Vitality forced into a bit of a gamble. ZywOo going to take control of the B bomb site with the AWP all on his own. Apex rotates back to A to have 3 players here, at least for the moment.
I actually think you're right. I think they almost certainly must have misread the economy, because that peak was not even designed to look for anyone there, right? It was so slow. X7, great position, and now a lot of trouble for the follow-up there. And I don't know, this is completely failed round so far on the Vitality side.
Oh, Apex is gonna barely live, but they've got to try and save. ZywOo still hasn't moved from his perch at coffins at the B bomb site. And the question now becomes, the money's not great for ENCE, but do they hunt these guns down? Do they start sending people over to take this away? Alu looks like he wants to meet up with Sergey at top banana.
Sergey, you're certainly hoping that someone, you know, just takes a quick peek or something, but yeah, maybe they don't want to do it too much. X7 could justify it, but he's on the other side of the map. I don't mind it if they try and play this one cool.
Yeah, play the economy game.
Some weird, I don't know, weird issues. I guess misreading the economy and going for the peek down middle, that's sort of one thing, but then up at the apartments, just not even expecting anyone to be at the stairs there.
Yeah, that was a curious push.
And normally when you have that double setup in apps, the whole idea is that each player is holding, you know, across the hallway, sort of crossing the streams, as it were, which you're not supposed to do.
It's not a fun game. Yeah, that's, I mean...
Ghostbusters, don't get me. Listen. But yeah, so, but then they go aggressive on it, which that doesn't seem... I can't see why that would work.
Again, it's one of those things where, like, I don't mind the idea. I like the aggression in halls. I think that's an area of the map that gets largely annoyed or ignored by CT sides. And I like that mid-round aggression call. It's just, you know, if you're going to do that, you're exactly right. You have to clear those stairs the whole way.
Well, 9-13. The Finnish team still sticking in this fight. Not going to be giving up any time. So I believe Pimp ended up picking Vitality, and Chad, with some truly convoluted logic, went for... Did he go for ENCE or Vitality?
No, they both went for Vitality, but Chad said he believes ENCE is the better team. He just thinks the travel scenario is going to allow Vitality to win in this certain situation.
Okay. I wish he would have picked, like, you know, something to do with, like, you know, astrology or something, you know?
Okay.
Like, adds the third lunar month.
Yeah, we really haven't brought astrology into the analyst desks.
No, maybe we could.
I think we're missing out on a big audience there, the astrology audience.
I'm sure...
Do you know anyone in your life that's big into astrology?
Probably a couple of people, yeah.
I know one.
I think I've mocked them for it in the past, so they don't talk to me about it anymore.
I don't mock those people because I feel like they're correct in an eerily frequent amount.
I've stopped doing it just because I feel like I just don't even know what's happening in the world anymore. So giving up on all those things, you know, it's fine. People can believe whatever they want. 45 seconds and leading into round number 23. It's a lead for Vitality, but it just doesn't seem like it's as solid as it used to be. That's a really good counter grenade coming out, though, from the defensive side. Sergey going to be taking down Apex in return, and that's so much better, leaving just ZywOo on the B bomb side. Oh my god, what the hell?
I think he got both of those kills for the smoke. That's such a cruel way to open up the B bomb site, and Shox, you're trapped. You can't go anywhere. Alu's going to miss. Oh my lord. I take it all back. He's a god. He is a god. Even jumping over the shot. He's going to try and spearhead this, but the rest of his teammates are just saving.
Yeah, they're scared on the other side. And
if we see a replay in Sergey, because I was looking at the minimap, the first one I believe was through the smoke. It was right towards that choke point on the right as the smoke plumed. And then obviously we saw the one onto ZywOo, which is just unreasonably unfair.
Yeah, that didn't seem like it was... Because you were thinking, well, the smoker's up. He's got that AWP. Like, even with like 4 people pushing him, you still think, well, ZywOo, like, he could.
Yeah, he could
slay all of them. But then Sergey had done what nobody apparently had thought of before. Why don't we just shoot people through the smoke? Genius idea in some way. Surprised more people haven't gone for that.
Nice shooting from the young Finn. Yeah,
this is all-out battle, right?
This is mean. So Apex is like, yeah, I just got killed through the smoke. This is stupid. And then ZywOo says, yeah, hold my champagne.
That's pretty good. That's going to give him another round. 13-10. This game is getting really interesting. And now, Vitality the ones that have to worry about the economy all of a sudden, which they have not really had to deal with in large amounts yet.
Not even in the first half. They were cruising.
Yeah, having a real good time.
Ooh, timing on this. Whenever they evacuate Boiler. But they're not going to turn the corner. So ENCE is fine for now. RPK and ZywOo still holding on. Especially utility usage in the halls might keep their attention in that direction, but it does feel like that's almost, you know, a time bomb of sorts when Alu decides to turn the corner. How effective can they be? RPK does have an SMG, ZywOo with the USP.
I think you're hoping at this point, surely, that ZywOo dinks somebody. RPK just runs and sprays at that point in time. Oh no, the timing was really about as bad as it could be, and that is somehow also a follow-up headshot. I feel like that's too much on Alu, isn't it?
I feel like RPK got cheated there.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he'd get a kill, but at least give him a chance. But great awareness from Alu.
Yeah, get him warmed up, you know.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's going to be 11-13, with now a lot of the money working in their favor. And Alex is saving this one M4, which again, they need everything they can get right now. Does get the kill. They could hunt for him, although they're not going to have that much time to really look.
Yeah, they're hunting now. We see this a couple rounds later. Before they were a bit shy about it. Now that more cash is built up, but I think they're just going to say it's not worth it. Too many of us are too far away, and we would lose weapons doing it. So let's just make sure we have the money. We still have a comeback to make. It's not quite completed just yet, down 2 rounds.
Now, what would we like to see out of the Vitality defense that could be potentially different? This is a map that could be, it could be very, very hard to go aggressive on the CT side, right? I mean, even the aggressive stuff you can do is usually, it's not that far forward, right?
I feel like Apex and Shock's over at that B bomb site, and I mean, ZywOo's been there a little bit as well. I feel like we haven't seen them really fight for banana control a whole lot recently. We saw it like early on in the round, we saw Apex kind of pushing down, and we've seen them do it in the past, but it seems like they've shied away from that fight.
Oh, here it comes though, and the flashbang with the third man set up. That's ZywOo throwing the flashbang from way behind. Then Apex, a really, really quick trade, but a lot of damage, and a follow-up grenade onto Sergey almost takes him down. And that, well, you were asking for it, and they deliver swiftly, right off the bat. Shock's gonna be just peeking the corner, but how long do they want to stay here? It's also dangerous to stick around, and, well, this is part of the reason why.
Ooh, that follow-up bait hurts as well. And the real unfortunate part of it is Shock's just used his smoke at that broken wall to maintain the position, and then they give it up immediately afterwards. They don't have that smoke any longer to delay a hit towards this B bomb site. Shock's is rotated completely back. It's going to be ZywOo alone this time. He does have one smoke himself, but only the Famas, so he can't really stick around and have too much of a battle.
Well, there's the other smoke on the bomb side. Were immediately put down.
Gambling? No, he's going to stick around here.
Surely you don't want to gamble this one away. Now, the trouble is they have another smoke towards CT spawn there on X7, so...
Yeah. This is a full-on gamble stack for Vitality. To the A bomb site we go. Even ZywOo cheating. He's going to be in arches, so free bomb site for ENCE. And if they actually commit to this, which it looks like they will, it's going to be a 12th and free round.
Hearing that, I don't know if you even heard that, but generally not a big fan of the gamble stacks. I don't know, like it feels like one of those things that, you know, you need some information, right? There's nothing here that they would have seen or thought of that would make them do this. Is just saying.
I feel similarly to you. I'm generally not a huge fan of them. I can understand why they did it this time because they didn't really have the arsenal to battle with there.
Yeah, maybe if he has the AWP, he sticks around.
Yes.
But the FAMAS, he's thinking, you know what?
And out of smokes as well. Shock's 48 HP with 1 flashbang.
Yeah, that's probably it.
But it still doesn't feel great watching it happen in a 4-on-4.
Well, at least let's give them this credit, though. When you do go for this kind of a thing, then I'm happy to see that they're not, lingering around outside of B and then losing rifles after they've already lost the round. Like, they're going to save all the rifles. So, in that sense, once you commit to doing this, it's better that you actually get to keep this in the next round. Because that would be the sort of the ultimate screw-up in this case. If you, and we see teams do that a lot, actually, where it's like, they're already given up the round, but they're sort of curious about what's happening, and then, they end up losing a couple of fights, and suddenly it's real bad. So 12-13. ENCE 1 round away from equalizing the scoreline. Still with Sergey, but now Sunny's joined in, which is really no surprise. What a talented player.
Sergey leading the way up Banana. They're going to come through the smoke. Oh, he's going to punish too. Oh, and a third again through the smoke. And again, single-handedly, Sergey just opens up the B bomb site. This round's over.
Well, that was something. They actually flashed their way through, and he was in a corner behind them, and he just said, "You know what? I'm so ready for this."
I mean, you want to know the kick in the balls of that situation is they just saved all those weapons the previous round. You just gave up a round, gamble stacking towards the A bomb site, so you could have a second round to fight with, and then Sergey kicks you in the nuts.
Yeah,
metaphorically, of course.
Well, yeah, for now at least. That's what we're sticking to, solving our problems inside of the game, really, at this point. But yeah, that is kind of rough. They were, I mean, it's a similar setup, or it's the same setup that they had last time. And there it kind of worked out for them. Now, even the last rifles here, ZywOo with the FAMAS, get a couple of kills, but they really, really needed these guns. And now, oh, he's going to get one more shot in here. He's hiding in the corner just once. This FAMAS, he's done so much damage. It's impressive that he could keep that alive, but not as impressive as Sergey's call or play over here. This is so wild, isn't it?
Oh, that snap over to Apex is going to be so frustrating. Even seeing the trajectory of the nade and firing through at the perfect angle. Man, if ZywOo's going to be showing a 4-kill like that in a 1 versus 5 with the FAMAS, they should have just left him at the B bomb site.
Yeah, another good point. Clearly it was possible. Well, they haven't defined a divide on the Vitality side, so that's something worth celebrating. What is not so good for them is the fact that ENCE have now made a really great comeback here, winning 5 rounds in a row here on the second half. And if this keeps up, I mean, Sergey's got 22 kills. He's, well, like, what's stopping him from just continuing to do this? He's winning all the fights over on the B side.
Well, the problem is some of them, I mean, he's had, what, that's the 3rd kill that we've seen through smoke. Including, like, 5 straight-up entries onto this B bomb site in 2 rounds. The amount of impact he's had in those 2 rounds is unbelievable.
It's going to be a grenade going into the skybox, I believe, over here. Shox is just thinking about it.
The unfortunate thing, too, is, like, now we've seen Vitality sit back in the B bomb site and haven't been able to hold on to B. We've seen them challenge down Banana a couple times, and they haven't been able to win doing that either. So
what's left?
It's like pick your poison.
Yeah, we've seen teams actually have this problem before on the B side especially, but now flashing their way in. There's a huge stack here at Korg, and ZywOo, that's what you have him on the team for. A big double. He misses a couple of shots here against Alu, but still buying all of the time, and RPK will take down Sergey, and this is the defense that they needed. Alu falling into the fire. He's going to get a party kill there, but that is a beautiful triple for ZywOo, and especially the first 2 kills. It's everything that you could possibly want. 14-13.
We found the winning recipe for Vitality. ZywOo with the AWP. This is so disgusting, and he's got so many different angles. No one could ever just peek him and actually eliminate that position. What a defense. That's the exact play that feels like it's designed to destroy that kind of a stack. Like 2 players inner porch, right? It's the pop flash over, it's jump out, it's attack him from balcony.
Yeah, 1 good flashbang and that whole corner is dead immediately, right? And you can bank Molotovs into that corner. There's so many things that could go wrong. But he wasn't even looking that direction. He turned around to see the player midair and just thought, you know what? You're dead, and so is everybody else. 14-13.
ZywOo's holding on to Rap's side with the AWP this time. A boost over the smoke as well as it comes out. Apex at Coffins. ZywOo just wants one pick, and he's going to get it. They can back away. Nice find for Vitality.
I mean, you're starting to see why this was a conversation from our analysts going into the game. ZywOo now clocking in 28 kills. And the problem is, how do you find a recipe short of shooting him through the smoke like Sergey's been trying? How do you shut him down when he's playing like this? This time he was boosted up, but it's just... I think it even mentally sets in on that side of somebody like, well, he's everywhere, and it's very, very hard to find a kill against him. Now, Alu actually might have a pretty good shot at it here. Yeah, that's great. Very patient. 28 seconds. They're bringing the bomb back as well, and it's just RPK and Aerial with a very quick clear, and that's the round. Very fast, and I wonder if Vitality could have seen at least some of this coming.
Well, I think I don't know. I didn't actually. You know, if you're ZywOo in that position, it's such a hard place to be in because his mobility is so restricted, right? Someone having that angle, like if you just make one small mistake and back up too far into the crosshair. And surely that was communicated by RPK, right? Like I don't have control of halls. I don't have control. Someone can be there. Someone can be posted up. That's got to be the communication.
And they even know, I think, that Alu had the AWP. So I don't know. That's a fair bit of second guessing, I guess. That'll time the scoreline again. 14-14.
It looks from the way, and you know, this isn't everything, from the way his body fell that he was looking in that direction, so he might have actually just tried to challenge it, which is not a high percentage challenge.
No, that's definitely difficult to do. Alu, that I don't know. We haven't seen the same kind of cool close range AWPing on this map out of him that we normally see, but winning that one fight, that has a really big impact. What happened to the flowers? They were just skating along the road there. Not really important, I realize. Back to the game.
Well, you've been getting into a bit of gardening, so I could see how you take it personally. Shock's going to get forced away by the Molotovs, by the grenades. He's going to return a nade of his own.
Sergey going to... Oh, no. That was absorbed. Like, look at that. It landed right on the other side.
Yeah, it landed at the very perfect angle to not deal any damage. ZywOo with an opening pick towards the mid choke point. Changing his position towards the Rap side. He's got another one. Alu alone at top mid. Sunny and Sergey towards the B bomb site. This is all they have left, and they might get everything. They need this kill. It almost feels like Sergey actually, especially now, 1 versus 4, has to press the issue, but he's trapped in the corner. Apex isn't going to let him out. He'll even pick up the AWP. 3 kills for ZywOo, 2 for Apex. And Vitality has 1 chance to close out the opening map.
31 kills on ZywOo. Nobody on his team is even close to 20 right now. So, just to, I mean, I think this is what Pimp was saying on the desk. People keep saying you can't win games with, you know, with ZywOo going crazy, but apparently you can.
You can win maps. Harder to win series with only 1 player.
Even more difficult to win tournaments,
yes.
I guess.
Yep. That's how it goes.
I'll accept that. I think that's some sound logic. Ooh. Caught jumping to boost over. They heard an auto sniper over there as well, so maybe they were in feeling like, you know what? Actually, we can probably challenge that. But it got thrown away. And now we're back to Orbs instead. 4 on 5 here for Vitality to sneak it away right at the end. And deny ENCE, what otherwise would be a really very cool comeback.
Yeah, but with a man down, they need to get Aerial over to Banana. If they're going to hit this B bomb site, forget the lurk. Forget the player on the other side of the map. Make sure you can get into this bomb site. He's going to be coming very late. Apex and Shocks. Big job to do. Apex holding on to the Molotov for when he knows they're executing or coming in. They wanted to force out some counter nades, and it doesn't work. Great discipline by Vitality to just hold on to all their nades.
Yeah, that's huge, because ENCE have another cycle of grenades they can go through into the bomb site, and now Aerial no longer in middle, and they're going to set up for a full execute this time. 40 seconds, and Don't think they're going to be faking anything here. They pretty much have to go all in by the time they do, but you're right.
The Apex
Vitality have
Molotov.
saved so many grenades. This is one of them. The Molotov going down. Oh no! He threw it into the smoke and it does absolutely nothing. Apex burning alive, and now there's trouble. Saiwu will pick up one. He follows up. The bomb is on the ground. Oh my god! He almost hit that shot as well. 16 seconds left. And he's flashing once. He walks into the shot, but enough for Alex to come through, clean it up. A 16-14 win. And a quick little high five there. Saiwu with a monstrous ending to the map here. 33 kills.
He bails them out because that initial B defense did everything right. That Molotov going into the smoke was an absolute disaster. Apex has got to be thanking him right now that he saved the day in such a fashion. Yeah, that's actually a spectacular game. There was some economic issues. There was some cool stuff, but obviously the highlight being Saiwu being an absolute beast once again.
Yeah, he was wild, wasn't he? It was a lot of fun to see. So hopefully we can get more of that. That was only map number 1. So
yeah.
I want more out of him as a player.
We got a chance. Either way, we're going to have to do a break for the moment. When we return, we'll get the desk and then that second map on the way, so stay tuned.